Camp's been on my mind a lot lately as, well, honestly, as I'm trying to get you guys to sign up for Camp Crosswoods. But I keep looking back to it, and I love going there. And one of the things that's super fun is the night games. They're just so fun. And I've been there so many times. I know some of you guys have too, that the layout of the camp is pretty, like, you've got it in your head, right? Even when it's super dark, you know where you're going. But I don't know if you remember, like, the first time you were there playing a night game, and there's no streetlights, no nothing. You're in the middle of the woods in complete darkness, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get lost in the woods and die. Well, maybe not. Maybe you didn't think that. But what you might have done is made sure you had a friend with you to be able to guide you back to the main road or to any of the main buildings, or make sure you weren't getting out too far. Well, Jesus kind of talks about that in today's 5-minute devotional, about what it's like to be in the dark. So we're in John chapter 11, and last time we were at a cliffhanger. It's not going to get a whole lot better today, but Jesus' friend Lazarus was sick, and when Jesus heard about it, he didn't do anything for 2 days. Well, he may have been praying, probably was, but he wasn't acting. And so we pick it up in verse 7. Then after this, he said to his disciples, "Let us go to Judea again." The disciples replied, "Rabbi, the Jewish leaders were just now trying to stone you to death. Are you going there again?" Jesus replied, "Are there not 12 hours in a day? If anyone walks around in the daytime, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if anyone walks around at night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him." After this, he added, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him." And the disciples replied, "Lord, if he's fallen asleep, he will recover." Now Jesus had been talking about his death, but they thought he had been talking about literal, real sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, "Lazarus has died, and I'm glad for your sake that I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him." So Thomas, called Didymus, said to his fellow disciples, "Let us go too, so that we may die with him." So I might remind you too that, as this passage says, the religious leaders were trying to kill Jesus already. And so he's away from where they hang out, Jerusalem, but where his friend Lazarus is much, much closer. So there's some risk going there, and he admits, well, okay, we waited, now Lazarus is dead. Now, I think what Jesus is doing here still probably doesn't make sense to anybody around him. And now he's heading into danger, and it's already too late. And I think what this shows is that we don't always understand what Jesus is up to. We don't always get how God is answering, or sometimes seeming to ignore what we ask him. But what he does know, he knows what's going wrong. Sometimes when God's not acting, we might feel like maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe he just doesn't know my huge problems. Maybe that's why he's not doing anything. But in this passage we see, he knows. He knows better than the disciples know what's going wrong. In fact, he knows that the worst thing has possibly happened has happened. He knows it. And he has his own way he's going to deal with it. So what they have to do right now is follow him. So he hasn't told them they're in the dark, like they're at camp and don't know the layout, and it's pitch black, and the only way they can get to where they need to go is to just stick close to Jesus. And Thomas here, Thomas gets a really bad rap at the end of the gospel for doubting, but here we see that it's a really amazing sort of attitude. Well, we'll go with you, Jesus. Maybe the religious authorities are going to kill all of us, and we'll die with Lazarus, but I'm going to stick with you, Jesus. And that's sort of an amazing attitude. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens next time, guys. See ya.